Hey,
In this world, is the destiny of mankind controlled by some
transcendental
transcendental
entities
entity
or
or law?
law
Is it like the hand of God hovering
hovering
above?
above.
At least it is true that no man has control, even over his own will. Tell me why, tell me why, tell me what you say. Don't know why, don't know why. It's just you play. So now that you've sat through my terrible rendition, Berzerk, whatchamacallit, opening. Welcome. It is Isaac with Gorogregoro, and we
Yes.
are here to discuss episode 4 of the Berserk 2017 anime, the much hated anime. But us Berserkies, I'm going to say that until I make it a stupid thing, a horrible,
Berserkies.
terrible thing. Like, yeah, like a deep.
Something like that you can label fans that they'll just deeply loathe forever.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like those YouTube guys where they like label their fan base like something.
Tubies or
There's this
something.
guy. Well, there's this guy who like chibi reviews, and he like calls his fans chibis, and it's just sort of like
Oh god.
every time I see it, I kind of groan. So come on, Berserkies, let's go talk about the latest episode. So as is always, this episode was a little bit mixed bag, just because like I'm not gonna lie, the CGI looks terrible, but for me, I'm super happy that I'm getting this animated. I'm like so happy. I never thought I'd get to see the trolls in motion. I never thought
Yeah.
I'd get to see Sheik. I never thought I'd get to see Fior and the fucking mage thing. Greg, you
Yeah.
enjoying this?
Uh yeah, like you said, I'm really enjoying how quickly the plot is developing in the show. And like the thing about the CGI, the trolls probably should have been hand drawn. I mean, I understand they have to keep everything sort of like CGI, most everything CGI for the
Well,
sake of
I guess
continuity.
the logic is that like I don't know. I would love to get like the production director to interview him and talk to him, but that'll never happen. But if I had to guess from my limited knowledge, is that like once you build that asset, you don't have to redraw it. You can just like copy and paste it. So what's easier, drawing like 10 trolls or having one troll model with its rig made up and then using that to build a troll army. You know,
I
it,
I get that. I get that. It's just you know there's a reason why I like watching anime though, because like they put so much hard work and effort to making those crazy 2D animations and you
yeah,
know.
I know. At some point, maybe we'll go into JoJo's, and it feels like Berserk deserved the adaptation that JoJo's is getting because like
Mhm.
JoJo's is by David Studio is getting like a really loving adaptation for all its different parts that are really top of the line. Cheap in areas like all anime is, but it's still like really well put together, really artistically fulfilling, and does a good job of like channeling the sometimes challenging artwork of Araki into fluid animation. Well, here it feels like this sort of cheap way, but we're getting VR. It doesn't matter. Berserk storyline is there. It's great. Even if they
Yeah,
move like PS2 models, I don't care. They're the trolls, and I'm so happy to see this.
I'm really curious where they're gonna end this whole season. Like they're getting really far with the plot.
If I had to guess, I think they'll end it at like the end of the. I forget what the Trolls arc is called, but like the end where they go into that like hell pit thing into the underworld, and then they rescue all the women who are being like impregnated by the trolls, and
Yeah,
then Guts meets the sexy god hand Slan, I think her name is, and she like forms herself out of troll guts. That seems like the most
we should.
logical point for me.
Should we put spoilers in
Now,
case?
the only people who are watching this are like fans who like watch Berserk. Like, I cannot imagine anyone who is like, uh, hasn't read the manga is like watching this. Like, it does a terrible job of introducing new readers and assumes they either read the manga or fucking watched the CG animated movies. The trilogy of movies. So there's that.
maybe one day, Isaac, they'll do some kind of generational thing with Berserk, where it's like the next generation of guts and revenge. It's like Ishidi, what's his name? Ishidora is like, now he's the new guts, and now he wants revenge.
I'm kind of curious to see if like he ever ages up Ishidora. Because like he stayed pretty consistent as like a little kid. I don't know. I feel like that would be the most anti-Berserk ending. All of it just ends like Ishidora as like fucking guts, and he's got like a giant sword or some shit. I think he's a supporting, cute little comic relief character. He's the little plucky thief that could. That's all he should be.
Yeah.
You should not overextend it. I don't fucking love Ishidora. I just tolerate him.
Yeah, same here. He's just tolerable right
It's
now.
kind of nice to have him around as like, aspiring to guts and like, wanting to be like him even though he never will. It's kind of neat. And, ooh, he bounces off his shirky. Oh, she hates him. But, it's the one true pairing that makes sense. Blah, blah, blah. Shipping. Woo. But, I don't want to see any more of him.
I mean,
he's tolerable, but just barely.
Yeah, there's something about the characters in Berserk. I wish they would, like, have like deeper meaningful character moments every now and then.
It varies. Like we got a few this episode. Like Farnze, like kind of realizing that in her insulated noble life, how useless she is in the real world, and how she's like terrible at everything.
Yeah, I guess
that's sort of like spur for her growth in the fact that she's more open when she actually sees like a witch after she's spent her like first half of her life burning them.
I guess her interactions with Casca earlier on is kind of kind of grows from there a little bit.
Serpico gets a decent moment where like he basically throws nuts at Gats and he's like, I still fucking hate you. I'm only doing this because Farnze seem to have changed her for the better, but I'd still kill you and do only what's best in her interest. Well, yeah. It's funny though. Like Serpico over the course of the series kind of evolves this like Guts and Serpico have this like very mutual respect for each other.
Mm-hmm.
That like I don't know if I'd say they're best buddies, but like they both see each other as extremely reliable.
Yeah, they're like rivals that are friends right now.
Yeah, exactly. And then they become more friendly in the fact that like Guts recognizes that Serpico's like a really smart swordsman, and Serpico respects the fact that Guts is a swordsman who just powers his way through anything. That makes sense. That's why two of the more fun scenes are like the two duels Serpico has with Guts, like the one that we saw in the first season where he's on the cliff and he like does everything he can to like put the odds.
It's such a memorable fight. That him fighting Guts on the cliff. It's like one of my favorite things.
Yeah, because most of the time it's like some giant monster or like random mooks, and Guts just like plows through them, and with his super Dragon Slayer sword that's like 10 feet tall. So to have like a different fight where it's actually like a real swordsman fight.
It's like a fight with your. It's like more of like a mental fight than a physical fight at that point.
And then the one that happens later on is also a lot of fun, where he like traps him in the area with the pillars so he can't swing it much, and it's like, oh, you're clever. Oh, this is a nice moment.
Wait, which part was that?
It's much later. They have to like, it's like the Wedding Crashers, where Farnze is going to be like put into an arranged marriage.
Oh, that was.
But she doesn't really want to, so they go and get her back. And then Serpico's like against him because he's like, this is what she needs. This is what's good for her. So they have a little conflict, and then they get him back just as the cushions, start attacking the water port.
Okay, yeah. I sort of remember that. That was so long ago.
Oh, isn't this great? You're like remembering all these Berserk moments. It's almost like rereading the manga. It's like an anime manga.
It's been like years and years, like more than like 5 years probably since I read those parts in Berserk.
Yeah. Oh god. Every now and then I forget. I like to go back on Berserk and like just skim through it, and for all the greatness and all the beautiful detail and the incredible artwork.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm so excited though. We're actually going to get to see the witch. The witch's talk. We got introduced to her. She's like She's like such a great presence. She does all this helpful. She gives all this lore. She's like this wizened old sage woman, and I love all the like real world witchcraft and whatchamacallit, all the pentagrams and traditions he incorporates into his magic system, so it feels like a little bit better than just I can shoot fireballs.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I really like about how he does like witchcraft in this series. The guy who made the series, the guy who made the manga. What's his name?
Kentaro Moira, I think his name is.
Kentaro Moira.
Yeah.
I think Shriek and her master are very, very strong characters. I like them.
They add a lot to the series. They open up the realm, and it's like interesting that these are the people. It's funny though. At first, we thought they were like the only two magical people in the entire universe, and then we eventually get to Elfhelm. It's like, oh, there's like a billion of them. They just all don't give a shit, and they're all just like kind of sitting there.
They're just hanging out in like Haven right now.
Yeah, they're just hanging out in a haven.
Yeah.
But, I give this we forgot to give review scores, but this is a good 7 out of 10 episode. Definitely not perfect presentation, but it's executing, it's going through the story like a good clip, and I'm just happy to see it. It's happy to see it exist. Happy to the witch's hut.
Yeah, I'd say it's 7 out of 10 too. Oh, curious though, Isaac, what would you have rated that the Attack on Titan episode that we watched earlier?
Probably an 8. As dumb as that reveal is, it's still like, there's some good animation and music during the parts where it needed to be in the hype moments.
I would have given it like a 3. I would have given it a 3.
You were just so salty about that.
Yeah, I think it's awful. That whole part just like ruined the whole episode for me.
Yeah, I can understand that. That sort of makes sense to a degree.
Yeah.
Well, you have to post it on your Facebook and see what other people think. But generally, people are like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it! Oh, this is so hype." It's like one of the dumb things that Attack on Titan starts to load in on it itself, like the shifters eating shifters, and that's how you get the Titan powers, and then where did the Titan powers come from? And oh my god, this doesn't make any sense.
You should probably put that in the spoilers as well.
Oh, yeah, whatever. I feel like anyone's worried about Attack on Titan spoilers isn't going to be watching this video. Only the Berzerkies are, and the Berzerkies are like the whenever you see a Berzerk cosplayer at a con, it's always like, oh, it's like a secret code. It's like, oh my god, I know it. I know it, and you know it.
Yeah. And you actually read the series.
Yeah, and then
you could tell that they read the series.
You can it's like meeting with a long lost friend, because like the interesting thing about cosplay and general fandom is that like you very rarely see like things that haven't been animated or put into some sort of movie form cosplayed. Like you don't see like things from later in a manga run. Like no one's ever like cosplayed as Berzerk Gishenka, or like I'm trying to think who's a character that comes in much later in the series.
Shrieky.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a Shrieky cosplayer, even though you think there'd be people who would love her. I've never seen like Bonebeard, that stupid pirate guy. Not anyone likes Bonebeard.
Who cares about Bonebeard? I don't think anyone cared about Bonebeard.
No. I'm trying to think. Is there any like really cool character who comes in much later in the series?
There's the Apostles Generals that Griffith has.
Yeah, but like we're seeing them now, and it's not like he introduces any really big iconic new ones later on.
Trying to think. Maybe Mermaid Girl.
Yeah, there you go. She's kind of like becoming a mainstay cast member. So no one's cosplaying as Mermaid Girl. The weird thing, though, is that like JoJo's, which has like gotten such a huge boost from its, and there's a lot of parallels between JoJo's and Berzerk. Well, I mean, not a lot, but parallels in the sense that like they've both been running for the exact same amount of time. They originally had very insulated fan bases, but because JoJo got a great adaptation, it's kind of like expanded more to the mainstream. And now you'll like see like people who love JoJo, the con I went to at the little Stevenson's University. There were people who were cosplaying as like JoJo's Part 5, which hasn't been animated. It's only animated in Part 4. Which to me, I find it amazing. That like people, oh my god, I love JoJo so much that I want to dress up as these characters who aren't even animated yet. I'll be really impressed if like people just start doing like Part 7 JoJo, where there's like the main guy's a paraplegic.
Really?
Yeah, like the main JoJo becomes like a paraplegic horse racer.
God, JoJo, I don't even know where to begin with that kind of beast of a show.
And it's really funny. Like if you ever look like the footage of like this JoJo recent JoJo video game, and you see someone like playing as him, like the fighting game, he like doesn't walk. He just like lays on the ground, and then like when he moves around, he like summons a horse. And it's just the funniest thing. He'll like flip on the ground, and it's like it's just the most ridiculous thing.
You have to
So
show me a clip of that.
God,
Uh,
I'll have to find it to you. I'll send it to you on the stream when we go to watch episode 5. But it's hilarious.
okay.
But, it's an example of like Berzerk's fan base. It's run as long as JoJo. The art style's evolved as much as JoJo. Well, probably not as much. JoJo got gayer and gayer as it went along. Well, Moira just kind of got cleaner. Although Guts comes from the era of like the '80s stoic badass. There's an interesting interview where he talks about his earlier influences and stuff like Fists of the North Star, and there's this old manga called Violence Jack, which he describes as like a big influence on him.
Violence Jack. Never heard of that.
Yeah, look it up. It's like it really has that like older manga style.
Oh. He does look a lot like Berzerk. I mean, when I say Berzerk, I mean Guts.
Guts should just be called Berzerk. He's the Berzerker guy.
The Berzerker guy.
So I think that covers everything. We're super excited to watch the next episode where we get the big info dump, which to this day still like doesn't make much sense to me, but it still sounds really profound and epic. And I love all the weird metaphysics of the Berserk universe.
Yeah. Berserk is this point in the story when I read it in the manga is really, really cool.
It's a cool point. I like that it's like well thought out as it is, and there are so many good explanations for how the magic works, and it's a great series. It's a great series. You should go watch Berserk, even though it's not the best version. And then read the manga, and then just keep this beast coming, man. We're about to get to the Berserker armor. Oh, please, the Berserker armor be good. Even if it's half good, I'll be happy.
Yeah, the Berserk armor should be good.
We get that stupid clang sound that everyone makes fun of.
All right, well, let's go watch that. Let's go watch that next episode.
All right, let's get to it. All right, thanks for watching the video. Like, subscribe, give us your comments, give us all that good shit.
All right, see you guys.
Take it easy.